my channel. So I'm super excited about this video today. I've been wanting to show you guys for a long time how to paint an ornament. So look how pretty and sparkly and shiny that is. And I've personalized it here for my grandson Zach. It's his first Christmas ornament from me. I've been painting these for about 16 years now. I've painted many, like hundreds. So I'm going to walk you through step by step how to paint your very own Christmas ornament. And you can do this with any colors you like. I'm going to do another one. I might do one a month or a couple a month just to give you guys some more ideas of color combinations that you can use. This one has mountains and trees. But next few that I'm going to do, I'm going to have a few little extra things, like I'll do one with a snowman, and I think I'll do one with a cabin and a little bridge and some waterfalls. So there's lots coming up in my hand-painted Christmas ornaments. I'll post all the colors, the brushes, and the supplies needed for this tutorial today in the description box. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining. So I hope you guys are inspired to paint your own Christmas ornaments, personalize them. So let's get started on this right away. Come along and paint with me.
For today's ornament, you will need the following supplies: a medium-sized smooth foam ball, darts to poke a little hole on the top with, a palette, a jar of water, fine diamond glitter, Modpodge, titanium white, acrylic gesso, Dioxazine purple, ultramarine light blue, and neon orange. 3 brushes, 1 liner, 1 filbert, and 1 flat brush, all small. Let's squeeze these colors out and get started. We'll first be applying a light coat of gesso to the ornament. Apply it evenly, and then let dry. Now let's take a small flat brush, the light ultramarine blue, and pull a line across the center of the ornament all the way around. A little bit of water to help blend that paint. You're going to spread that paint out so almost the whole ornament is this color. You're going to leave the bottom and the top white. Time to add some white and a little bit more of the blue. We're going to gradually make this look lighter. Okay, it's time to start painting the swirl. So we're going to take that same blue and white and we're going to pull and turn, making that swirl smaller down in the middle on the very bottom. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the top. It works really well to put a paintbrush or a pencil, whatever you have, in that hole on the ornament to hold on to, and then you can twist it around, making it easier to paint. Let's take some purple now and a little bit of the blue, and let's go inside that blue with the purple and pull it all the way around. Let's pull some lines in while turning the ornament around, and we're creating some snowbanks, and we're going to start painting some trees. Line your brush up on that, right on that line there, and pull and flick up carefully. It's got to be light purple, almost a little bit watered down so that you can still see that blue through them. Shorter flicks for smaller trees that are off in the distance, and a little bit larger ones that are going to be closer to us. And then I'm just going to pull and flick down underneath some of them, indicating a reflection in the water maybe. Now let's add a few little clouds and then lighten them up with some of the white. Softly blending with a clean damp brush. Now with a liner, I'm going to take a little bit of the white and a little bit of the orange, mix them up, get a little bit on the end of your brush, do a small little circle for our sun, and then white right in the middle. Then dab a final white dot in the middle. I'm going to carry that peach through into the clouds. So we've got a beautiful sunset happening on a cool winter's evening. Now let's begin making some mountains with a flat brush, a little bit of blue, a little bit of purple. We're going to go up and down, creating a soft peak. Slightly paint inside of it, and then we'll do a shorter one right next to it. So here's the base for our mountains. Now we're going to come in with a liner brush, some white, and on an angle on the left side that the sun would be hitting, you're going to pull and drag. And now with Dioxazine purple only, you're going to pull and flick and drag very lightly on the opposite side for the shadow. Now I'm just going to soften the base of these mountains with the damp, clean brush. And do a few little more highlights. Maybe there's some more mountains way off in the distance, just little baby ones. Taking a Filbert titanium white, we're going to start tapping in some snow. I'm using just the very tip of my brush for this now. So I'm tapping and then I'm pulling round little hills or maybe snow-covered rocks. We'll put a few back here as well. Remember, everything in the distance is going to be smaller. So I'm going to continue to build up the snow in the foreground and the shadow as well. Okay, I think that looks really nice, but what I want to do right now is add just a little bit of color, a little bit more color right here, making it seem as though there's a river running through there. So just a combination of blue and purple with a little bit of white. And I'm going to work a little bit more on this swirl now and define it. Then I'm going to come in with Dioxazine purple, building up the contrast even more. You can still see the other shades of blue and a little bit of blue and white. It just makes it really fun. I love creating those swirls. And now let's start our trees. Pulling up with a Filbert brush, skinny line. I'm going to begin tapping light, little branches at the top, and then making them just a little bit bigger at the base. And let's put another one right here, slightly shorter. And I'm going to carry through and do this almost all the way around, changing up the sizes of the trees. We just don't want it to all be the same height. Now you can also use a little bit more blue and less purple for some if you like. Let's put one right here too. just on a little bit of a slant. Maybe this one's a little bit more in the foreground, so we'll bring that tree trunk down lower. I just think it's so much fun painting Christmas ornaments. I've been painting these for almost 16 years now. I used to sell them every year at Christmas craft fairs, personalizing them and painting all different colors for people and different sizes. They were a lot of work, but I really enjoyed doing that. I did take a break in the last couple years, but recently wanted to paint one for my grandson, Zach. So this one is for him. I really hope he likes this one. I chose colors that I think will grow with him and he'll enjoy this in the years to come. So let's finish up painting these trees. And while they dry, I'm going to also add a fence. And I'm going to show you exactly how I do that. We will be switching over to a liner brush and using Dioxazine purple, as well as some white to add a little bit of snow to the fence. So now I'm just taking a liner brush with a purple and I'm pulling in little lines for the fence. They're going to be a little bit longer, closer to us in the foreground, and then closer together and shorter as they go off in the distance. Then we'll pull a line right through, and then we'll paint a little shadow right on the base of each of those posts, and then another line across. Okay, time to pick up a little bit of white and a little bit of orange. Let's begin tapping in carefully some snow on the tops of those branches, leaving the dark purple showing in between. I'm going to be using a few brushes for the trees, just demonstrating that you can use the liner brush and you can also use a Filbert brush. So not every tree is going to be the same. Some of the trees will have more white snow and some of them will have a little bit more of a peachy glow to them. Now let's add some snow to the fence posts. And I'm going to choose one side, the top and the right side of each post. Okay, now it's time to start taking our Filbert brush and adding some snow to some other trees this way, just so you guys can see the variation and little differences using the Filbert compared to the liner brush. I like to use both. I just like to change it up. Maybe there's a few different types of trees growing in this forest. You get a little bit more of a pattern when you're using the Filbert, I find. And it's a little softer looking. They almost look like they have some frost on them, which is really cool. So now I'm taking a little bit more of the neon orange with the white and tapping very lightly between each of those branches. Don't forget to reload your brush each time. And I'm going to add a little staircase back here. Maybe there's a little bridge that goes off into the woods there, and maybe there's a little cabin back there. Quite often I paint little cabins or cottages in my ornaments and paintings. For this one in particular today, I left it out just because I wanted to make sure I had enough room to personalize this ornament for my grandson Zach. But in the next video, I'll be painting another ornament, and I will be adding bridges and a few waterfalls. And I'm just going to add some foliage on the side of that, and then some snow on top. And then I'm going to define the spiral a little bit more, or the swirl on the bottom. Oh, I forgot one tree, the biggest one. Let's go ahead and add some snow to this guy. Using a little bit of white and the neon orange to create that really pretty fuzzy peachy color. Tapping very lightly. Okay, that looks better. Maybe I'll add some of that light peach to the swirl as well. And just a little bit more snow here and there and highlights. And then we'll be moving on to the next step. Taking my liner brush and a little bit of white, I'm just going to add some little trees way back here and a little bit more detail in the foreground. Pulling in little lines of white, creating some highlights, snowy rocks. I'm really liking how this is turning out. It's a beautiful continuous scene that goes all the way around. Okay, so I'm just using a glass to set the base of that ornament in, and I'm going to let it dry. I just want to choose a spot that's wide enough so I can have enough room to start personalizing this ornament. Taking my liner brush, a little bit of water, and purple. So this is for my grandson Zach, so I'm going to start with the letter Z. And you may want to practice this beforehand on a piece of paper. You could, if you're really not confident with doing this with a paintbrush, you could use a Sharpie if you like. You can get every colored Sharpie pretty much nowadays. Okay, now that his name is all done in purple, I'm going to use a clean brush and take some white and even add some snow for the highlights on each letter. I'm going to choose one side where the snow would fall on each of the letters. Now this makes it look just a little bit 3D. It's really cool. Okay, now I'm going to sign the bottom of the ornament using a liner brush, a little bit of purple and some water. And I'm going to add the date. Time to add the Mod Podge. Now you can use matte or high gloss. I usually use high gloss, but for filming purposes there would be too much of a glare, so I chose the matte. Make sure the paint underneath is completely dry first before you add that Mod Podge. While the Mod Podge is still wet, you want to sprinkle as much of that glitter as you want on top. Now what I love about this iridescent glitter is that when the light hits that ornament and that glitter, it just shows so many different shades of pastels, and it's so soft and pretty and sparkly looking. It's the best glitter in my opinion to use. And it doesn't really matter what brand you use as long as that it's a fine iridescent. Okay, so I'm just going to let this dry for about half an hour or so. And clean up all this glitter. I'm going to get the ribbon out. Now I've got a 1/2 inch organza ribbon that I like to use. Depending on how big you want your bow to be, and you'll cut to size. So I hand make all my little bows. And I just need a hook for this now. And then I'll be taking some glue and attaching the bow to the hook and placing it inside the hole. Okay, so the first step is taking the handle, whatever you have inside of there, pull it out. We're going to fill it up with glue, and here's the type of hook that you will need. You'll take your bow and you're going to loop it through carefully. We're going to take some Mod Podge, hot glue, or clear drying silicone. Apply a generous amount inside the hole. Take the hook and bow and carefully place it in straight up and down. Let dry overnight before hanging on the Christmas tree. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Thanks for watching.